Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading, and this pick a card reading is about what is the gossip on you, Devil's Radio. This is specifically the infamous reading on my channel, which has gained a lot of love from you guys, so I'm gonna do it again. Alright, take a look at the options. The first option for you is the Healer of the Ages. The second option is the fourth chakra, which is Archangel Raphael, and the third pile is the Thinking Woman. Alright, so trust your intuition, take a few deep breaths before choosing. You can choose all the options, you can choose two options, one option, whichever pile pulls you towards it, go for it, my loves. Alright, so see you in your reading. Right, so pile 1, for those of you who chose pile 1, let's see what are people gossiping about you. So you chose the Healer of the Ages. Alright, so something about what you do for your profession. Maybe you are a healer yourself, you are a spiritualist, or you are a life coach, whatever it may be. I feel like whatever profession you are into, there's a lot of gossip going on about your profession, okay, what it is that you do for a living. So let's see. Spirit, please tell me, what are people gossiping about pile 1? We have the Uru's rune. Okay, let's get a few more cards for you. Okay, we have clothing. Wow, okay, very specific. All right, let's get a few more cards from my other piles here. So Spirit, what are people gossiping about pile 1? We have sacrifice. Give me one more from this. What are people gossiping about pile 1? We have aliens are protecting you. Interesting, pile 1. Let's see. Spirit, what are people gossiping about pile 1? We have fake education. We have crime of passion, but in reverse. Okay. Okay. Pile 1, what are people gossiping about pile 1? Okay, we have multiple personality disorder. And we have beach. Okay, and we have divine as well. I heard divine bitch. Pile 1, oh my goodness, you have some people with a lot of multiple personality disorders in your energy currently, okay? So what they are gossiping about you, first of all, they are gossiping about your strength, your physical stamina, all right? Maybe some people know about your stamina in bed, or you know how you are, conducting yourself in that arena. So I feel like there are people who are gossiping about like how strong you are, how much stamina you have, how much speed you have, and there's a lot of untapped potential within you that these people are seeing come out from you in whatever profession it is that you are in, or even in your love life. I feel like there's a lot of strength and determination that you have to conquer whatever it is that your goals are, and people are gossiping about that. People really want to understand, where do you get all this physical strength from, where do you get all this stamina from? Some of you could be really into working out, or you have a very focused mind or a very disciplined mind, and people are really wondering, how do you do that? Pile 1, some of them are definitely gossiping about the kind of clothes you wear. So maybe some of you are into some very different kind of clothing, okay? You don't wear clothes that are usually worn by people, or maybe you're not into the trends, because I'm seeing this free flowing dress here, or this very comfortable clothing. So some of you could be into that, some of you could be into organic clothing, some of you could be into whatever style you have, whatever aesthetic you have. It's like people are gossiping about your aesthetic, and you don't spend money on something that is not strong, something that is not durable, so they're talking about how do you get that much money to spend in vegan food or vegan clothes. I'm hearing I don't know, I'm hearing that, okay? Yeah, I feel like people are also talking about how much you have had to sacrifice in your life, pile 1. Like you've had to let go of a lot of things with your discipline, with your courage, and there has been a lot of evil eye and a lot of jealousy onto you because of how much strength you have, you know. And people generally don't have the kind of strength you have to be able to let go, to be able to sacrifice certain things that are not really good for them. But you, on the other end, you make it look effortless, you make it look very easy. And somewhere it's like people think that, you know, some kind of a heavenly force or aliens or you know, some kind of a supernatural force is protecting you. That's why you are able to do these things. Some of you could definitely be a healer or into spiritual work, right? So I feel like there's a lot of protection that you do upon yourself, and people are talking about that, or people just genuinely feel that you are protected regardless of whether you do that or not, you know, that you have a lot of love from this spiritual realm to be able to do what you do in this world. Even with your hands, something about your hands, so chi energy or something about your prana or chi, or some of you could be into Reiki as well. Very, very strong, powerful energy coming through in this pile. Okay, so people are actually gossiping about, like, you know, you chose this route. If you're a healer, you chose this route because you did not want to educate yourself. You were too lazy to educate yourself. Some of them are gossiping about that, while other people are also kind of intimidated by the fact that you're doing so well even though you did not get educated. So they're gossiping about that, like they're trying to bring you down by gossiping about your education. And you know, it's like you are trying to do these things to protect yourself from any kind of gossip yourself. By becoming a healer, it's like nobody will gossip or nobody will, you know, point a finger at your education, so this is why you became a healer or something like that. It's like you're trying to hide your identity or hide who you are, you know, as a person. So that is coming through very strongly for you guys. We have the crime of passion in reverse. So I feel like with this, you don't let people who are extremely passionate about hating you, you don't give them the time of day. It's like you have sacrificed arguing with them, you have sacrificed you know, picking fights with them for no reason. It's like you are focusing on your own training, on your own physical strength, on your own stamina, on your own potential. You don't care about haters or, you know, what they talk about or what they gossip about. And somewhere it's like making them also feel like they don't matter or they are losers, or, you know, so they are trying to bring up certain sacrifices that you have done basically in a negative way to become a healer or to become a popular person in your career. No matter what you do, you don't have to be a healer pertaining to you know, this card particularly that you chose, but it's like these people have multiple personality disorder themselves, but they think you have like a multiple personality disorder, that you have one personality that likes to heal, and that is something that you show to the world. But there are other personalities that likes to sacrifice animals to gain wealth, or sacrifice people in order to harvest their energy for yourself. It's like you take advantage of innocent people in your career to step on their toes to get bigger and better in business world. You are cutthroat, you're ruthless is what they are actually gossiping about, even though it's not true, my loves. It's like these people think that you do crimes of sacrifice behind the scene with a lot of passion, because you have multiple personality disorder, you know. It's like that's why I heard the word divine, bitch, literally. Yeah, so it's like they think that you are like that, you know, and you just you know, fake your personality of coming off as, you know, wearing good clothes and maybe branded clothes, or clothes which are, you know, organic and, you know, they don't harm the planet. You're extremely sustainable and you look so put together. You know, some people are also gossiping about like your hair, or either your hair is very luscious and very healthy, and these people don't know why you have healthy hair, so they are gossiping about, like, you know, some people are unnecessarily gossiping about them seeing your hair falling or something like that, you know, just to please themselves in some way, is what I'm getting. Okay, someone could have met you at a beach, or you could have been at a beach party recently or something like that, and these people are gossiping about that, you know, how can you you know, be a party person when you are in this kind of an industry, or whatever it may be. If you're so determined and have such a strong willpower, why are you even partying? Like, you should just be in your own corner, you know. That's what they believe in. All right, very interesting, my loves. So pile 1, let's see, I'm keeping the reading short for now. Let me know if you want longer readings, but yeah, let's get some tarot cards for you. What are people gossiping about? Pile 1, we have world in reverse. Yeah, people feel that there are certain things that you are not learning from. I mean, who are they to even say these things? But regardless, people think that you are, yeah, look at the clothing, by the way, right? So people think that you are someone who only shows up as someone who is very sophisticated or someone who's very elegant and classy, but internally it's like you are like, you like to be very nasty when you are in bed, or it's like you exude a lot of physical strength and stamina, and it's like, yeah, you victimize people. Okay, something about victimizing people is coming through. Some of you could be Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio as well. We have 8 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, these people are kind of yeah, like over gossiping, like overthinking about the fact that why do you use this clothing, why do you use these fabrics, why do you, you know, go behind people's backs to do things rather than telling them what you're doing. Like, why do you hide so many secrets from them? It's like you're not learning certain lessons about, you know, being open and being trusting. And how can you trust these people, right? Pile 1. So you have understood the lesson, you have understood the mission, and you take it one step at a time. But these people are like triggered by that. They feel like they're not your friend anymore, that you don't talk to them anymore, you have left them out in the cold because you are better than them, or that you had to sacrifice them because somewhere it's like you are doing things behind closed doors which is not something legal, or you're doing something criminal behind closed doors, but you show this very healing face to the world, like you are there for everyone and that you are there to heal them, help them, you know, to be generous and kind towards them. That's all a facade, is what people are saying. Like, they have proof of this. Some of them are like showing each other some kind of proofs about this as well. Yeah, 10 of Swords. Yeah, oh my god, interesting. Something about some kind of a criminal history that you have had, or they're gossiping about this. Like, they're gossiping about there has to be something behind the scenes, like I've seen it on the internet, or I have something stored about this person in my camera folder, and look at this. People are gossiping about something that they either saw you doing, or clicked a picture of you doing, or have a footage of you doing. There's a gossip about that going on. Okay, so some of you could be Gemini, Aquarius, you could be Aries, or you could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn as well. Okay, so that is coming through, my loves. All right, this is the Devil's Radio for you. Let me know how you felt about this reading. If you want me to have longer readings, you can let me know in the comments as well. All right, my love, so thank you so much, Pile 1, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this, and peace. So Pile 2, for those of you who chose Pile 2, the 4th chakra. All right, let's see what's the gossip about you, my loves. What's the Devil's Radio, the gossip about you? So the first thing I'm hearing is that some of you could have some kind of heart issues or heart problems. Maybe some of you could have gone to the doctor recently and something like that. So people are talking about like some kind of heart issue that you're going through. Some of them are talking about how you're healing from some kind of heart pain or heart issues. Okay, or someone in your family could be, and you know, there's a lot of gossip about that for some reason. Okay, yeah, door of death, literally. Okay, so some of them are gossiping about like how you came back from the door of death, or you cheated death in some way. Okay, a gift from the underworld. Look at that. So people are literally gossiping about how it's like you were gifted another life in this lifetime, and people are really baffled about that. Like, how is that possible? How did Pile 2 literally get saved from death itself? Like, what did they do truly? You know, some of them are happy about it, while some of them are kind of your haters, so they are kind of jealous. That's like disgusting, guys. Okay, let's see. Weird people out here in these streets. All right, so let's see. Spirit, what are people gossiping about? Pile 2, what are people gossiping? Okay, we have most wanted, we have belong. Okay, we have the belong card. Okay, all right. So these are the 3 cards from this. Let's get from all the piles and then I'll start. Okay, so let's see. What is the gossip about Pile 2? What is the gossip? Yeah, we have escort. What's the gossip about pile 2, spirit? We have doctor. Look at that, literally. I was just saying that, you could have dealt with a doctor's appointment. We have life insurance at the bottom of one deck also. Some of the people are literally talking about like who is going to get your life insurance after you are gone. These are your haters, I'm hearing. Okay, we have sexually explicit. We have, wow, some of them are gossiping about like your sexual health being the reason for your heart issues, or something to do with your health crisis. Yeah, some kind of a crisis that you went through. Okay. Yeah, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗀, interesting. Okay. Spirit, anything else for pile 2? What are people gossiping about pile 2? Okay, we have telekinesis. Okay. All right. So pile 2, what are people gossiping about you? First thing I'm picking up is about your health. Like I said, about your heart health. Some of you could have had a doctor's appointment recently. All right, some of you could have gone to a gynac recently, and maybe you shared to a friend that you had to go to a gynac due to some kind of an issue that was happening towards you, and people are gossiping that you are an escort, or your sexually explicit kind of a lifestyle is leading you to either be behind closed doors, an escort, and that's why your sexual health is getting into crisis, and there's some disruption in your sexual health which is causing you heart issues. Okay. People are also gossiping about you dealing with people who are like either criminal minded, or you deal with people that are not really, like they are from the underworld. Okay, so something about the underworld, the dons, for example, the gangsters. So you could be dealing with gangsters, or like you are an escort of the gangsters, or you are a gangster yourself. Okay, people could be gossiping about those things. Or you could be a doctor for the gangsters. Very interesting, my loves. Okay, some of you could be like literally like movie makers or something like that, and you are planning to make a movie on like an escort, falling in love with like someone from the underworld, and then a doctor falling in love with that escort, and there's some sexual triangle going on between. Okay, that some people could be gossiping about like a very interesting thriller movie, or a movie that they want to produce, or they want to create or direct. Okay, some of you could be directors, or you could be producers. Okay, but regardless, if this is not a movie discussion, I feel like some of people are discussing about where do you truly belong, because it's like some people think that you do something sexually behind the scenes that people do not know of, whereas other people feel that you heal people that do these things, right? And you deal with a lot of crisis situations, or people that are very rigid, they come towards you and you heal their heart, or you heal them. If there is any kind of injustice that happens in their life, then you are the person to go to. But at times you could be seen as the other person who is also not really careful about their own sexual health. So some of them are speaking about like you catching some kind of a sexual disease because of being with such people. Okay. Some of you have the ability to influence physical system without physical interaction, typically by exerting force. Okay, so without exerting any kind of force, it's like only with your words and with your heart being open towards helping others, or changing others' lives for the better, no matter what you do in your life. It's like people are talking about that being like a facade, or that kind of appearing one way but is another way completely. Like you appear like a doctor, but you are using them for your services. Eventually, like you start making them feel that they belong in your life, like you open your heart to them to manipulate them. It's like it's like you're trapping victims through opening your heart and then inviting people in. Some of them feel like you're extremely manipulative, or you're greedy, and so you have connections with the people who are not really from who are not ethically earning money, for example. So there's a lot of illegal things that they could be gossiping about maybe your own criminal history, or you being sexually very deviant. People are talking about this. People are talking about how you hire escorts because you don't feel like you belong anywhere. Okay. possibly a death. So some of the people are talking about you possibly either cheating death, or you deal with a lot of deaths, and so your mind itself has become manipulative or something like that, like you have become cold or sterile, because you know the doctors, like they have to deal with deaths usually. So yeah, something like that. Okay, there could be some kind of a dislocation, so dislocation of a body part, or something about like the kind of recent operation that you took on of a person, maybe an escort who was like dislocated or something like that, and maybe you shared it with some people, and now some people are gossiping about, like, you know, this thing. Okay, if you're a doctor yourself, but something about your doctor also. So yeah, you deal with a lot of people who are dangerous, I'm hearing, or you yourself are dangerous. So people could be gossiping about this, like people should not take you for granted because you look like an angel with like a bright heart and an open golden heart for people, but internally it's like your whole world is upside down, and that, you know, every time there is a crisis that comes about, it's like you deal with crises very quickly or very much on your feet, but at the same time it's like there are secrets that you are meant to keep about the kind of crises that you go through, that you do not reveal to people openly, because there are certain secrets that you are meant to keep confidential, or you have signed some kind of a confidential agreement to make sure that, you know, you belong in with those people, like you do not talk, you are mum about these things, like you're quiet, zipped, right? Yeah, something about your sexual life as well. So people talk about your sexual life and how at times you kind of make people feel that, you know, that they have your heart, but then you eventually bail on them because, you know, it's a game that you play, and maybe there are certain escorts that you have dealt with who you made them fall in love with you, and now, you know, maybe they have caught some kind of a sexual issue, or you have, and people are talking about that due to your sexual connection with them. Okay, something about that as well. Very interesting, my loves. Yeah, people think that you are also quite irrational at times, like you don't think things through before talking, like even though you handle crisis with ease, but you are rigid about your own stance about particular things, and you make people fall in love with you, but you don't give your heart away to anyone, like your heart is yours to keep, but you show that as if your heart is gone and your heart is belonging with someone else, like belonging to an escort, and that escort falls in love, and then, you know, boom, you change up on these people. Some of these escorts could have had sexual issues themselves, like I already mentioned, I think. Alright, very interesting. So let's see. We have Page of Cups, we have Strength, we have Nine of Cups, we have Ace of Cups, and we have Two of Pentacles. Alright, so people talk about the kind of love offers that you get, pile 2, like whatever love offers you get, it's like you are very very kind towards them, very loving towards them, but internally it's like you know when to hold yourself back from over giving your heart to anyone else, like your heart is yours to keep. There's a lot of strength you have in being able to keep your heart locked or in a cage or in a vault, something like that. Okay, people discuss about that, like you do not, you know, unnecessarily trust anyone very easily, you only care about yourself, you're very selfish when it comes to opening your heart or giving your heart to people. And also regarding your finances, I feel like you're very selfish about the kind of finances and the kind of work that you do. You keep things to yourself, you keep your parties and your gallivanting life, or your life of, you know, maybe the underworld or whatever it may be that you indulge into, you keep things to yourself. And also maybe there's one time that you fell in love with someone, and that is something that you have shared with one person, and that has spread in this friend group. So people talk about that, you know, this one time I saw pile 2 falling in love, and oh my god, after that I've never seen this person like ever get into it. So people talk about that. People talk about like how they have to walk on eggshells around you at times, like they can't really open up or speak up because then they feel like they will be in danger, or that they will be, like, I don't know, dealt with in some way, like, yeah. something about them being dealt with in a harmful way or in a dangerous way. People are scared to, whenever they see like this good side of you come out, they are scared of that because they have to expect the worst out of that good side, because they know that you're selfish, that you keep things to yourself, and yeah, that you don't believe in the purity of the heart for some reason. Okay, this is what people are gossiping about. Okay, this is not me, my love. So yeah, that's something I'm picking up for you guys. Pile 2, some of you could be Capricorn, Leo, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Alright, this is what I have for you, my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in. Pile 2, if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments down below. Alright, peace. So for my pile 3, for those of you who chose pile 3, the thinking woman. The first thing that people are gossiping about you, my loves, is your brain. Alright, people think that you're very either educated or you love reading books, and people are talking about the kinds of books you read, or the kind of content that you watch, or the kind of mentality that you have. It's like people think that either you are very intelligent or you appear to be intelligent, like you just, you know, fake your intelligence, but internally you are dumb or something like that. That's coming through pile 3. Okay, so you appear to be like this thinking woman, like you take time to make your decisions, that you know, go with the rational thought in your mind, the common sense in your mind about things, but internally, like I'm hearing some of you could be blonde, so you're blondie, or yeah, people call you that behind your back. Pile 3, all right, which is interesting. So pile 3, what are people gossiping about pile 3? Some of the people are gossiping about like your mental health as well, like your mental health is not really doing well, but you show people that it's doing well. Some of you could be into psychology, or the kind of field that you have chosen is like very cerebral. So it's like people think that you just want to appear intellectual, but you are dumb behind the scenes, or you have your own mental health issues. So how can you heal others when you have your mental health issues? These people sound like very jealous people to me. Yeah, we have fairy visit, and we have made a copy of your keys. Wow, interesting. Okay. So people are talking about like you being in the woo-woo world, or like you read about things that are far out, or like you don't have any control over your mind, like your mind is running wild or something like that, about the kind of subjects that you dive into. Okay, some of them could be also talking about maybe you have a small fairy house in your own apartment, or it's like you believe in the fairies, or you believe in you know, different kind of mystical entities, and you read up about them. Maybe you have books about these things, you know, you have books about mystical creatures and spirits, etc. And people are gossiping about like how like that book is affecting your mental health, or it is like just wild what you're doing, and like you're crazy, like you're nuts in the head for like having these books. Okay, some of them also believe that, you know, you some of them believe that you are very obsessive about people. Okay, so something about your obsession towards a particular thing, towards a topic, towards a subject. It's like they discuss that you get obsessed about people, places and things as well, just as much as you get obsessed about books or about reading, about education. It's like you get obsessed about people, places and things. So they feel like you usually like you know, if you fall in love with someone, like you will make a copy of their keys, like you will be underhanded about how you deal with people in love. Okay, like you get obsessive, you become like that character in You, the series You, I'm hearing. Okay, so people think that you are like that kind of a character, or they're gossiping about this, like they're gossiping about something that they saw you doing, or you coming out of someone else's apartment one day and, you know, they saw you doing that, or someone saw you and that person is gossiping with other people about that. Okay, like you were not supposed to be in that particular place or that position, but someone saw you doing that and people are gossiping about that. Okay, alright, let's see. So just a cat just walked by my balcony. Okay, interesting. So some of these people think you're very stealthy, you're very quiet, you're very yeah, quiet about your motives, like you don't care. And now the cat is also rubbing its own back on the floor, so that is telling me that for love, okay, so for love and for affection and for admiration, it's like you become very stealthy and very obsessive, and like there's a whole world inside of you that you don't share with your partner about how you feel about them, but it's like you get obsessed, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, distortion of perception. Look at that. That's exactly what I've been saying. Okay, like people are gossiping about your own perception being distorted, and so you appear like a very genius or a brilliant person, or but then there are times when you kind of screw up, you know, maybe you speak something that is non-relevant, or you don't appear quite intellectual, maybe you kind of say some words that don't mean nothing, or at times you have a stroke of genius where, you know, there are slight glitches in your communication at times, and people look at those things and they really study you deeply, and they kind of take out the flaws in your thinking and your perception, like they are very closely watching you. Yeah, look at that, sold out. Interesting. So let's get all the cards for pile 3. Pile 3, okay, we have connecting with the elements. Yeah, it's like you connect with the elements on the down low. Okay, and look at that, this is one-sided contract at the bottom of the deck, one-sided contract. So that is telling me that you these people talk about like you having these feelings one-sided, like only you get obsessed. These people don't get obsessed with you in love, or people don't care as much, but when you care, it like borders into like dangerous, or it borders into something where you get extremely like territorial, or you get like you become extremely strategic, or you want to control this person or something like that. Yeah, we have narcotic addiction. Interesting. Okay, wow, so some of them are definitely wow, okay, wow, oh my goodness, pile 3. Yeah, okay, I don't want to take other cards. This is pretty clear to me. So pile 3, what am I getting for you guys? People are gossiping about you having some kind of an addiction. Okay, people think that this addiction particularly distorts your own perception about how you view the world, how you view people, or maybe at times you don't want to hang out with people, or you isolate yourself because you're reading, or you are gaining some knowledge, you're watching some content, or you know, you're in your own world, but people think of it as something to do with you becoming extremely obsessed about a person, or you being in love with someone to the point that you only like research about that person, or you get into that person's world and that person's mind to the point that you connect with all the elements within that person, like you want to figure out how they behave, what they do, and it's like this could be even your family members or your friends, take it how it relates, but these people think that you're mentally unstable. Okay, these people think that you either sell things to make a living, or something to do with selling your services in a weird strategic way so people don't find out what you're selling, or you could be selling drugs, is what people are thinking. People are gossiping about you on the down low, selling drugs to distort people's perception about you. Either you make people addicted with some kind of drugs that you sell, or you buy drugs that distort your own perception, and that makes you obsessed about a person, like the You series. Okay, and we have psychopath here as well, a person having an egocentric and antisocial, look at that, antisocial, marked by a lack of remorse for one's actions and absence of empathy for others, and violent criminal tendencies. This is literally what people are gossiping about you. People think you're a psychopath, you have violent criminal tendencies, and if some of you are literally empathic and you need to, like, if you're sensitive and you kind of hide yourself because you don't want to come off as weird, and maybe you read your books and you have your own knowledge, you love the fairies, you love the mystical world, and people think about you like this, like, yeah, people are deluded, people have lost it, whoever's thinking like this about you. But if you're really like this, people are on the money, right? So take it how it relates, my loves. But yeah, people think that you are a psychopath, that You show people that you're very intellectual, and people think that whatever comes out of your mouth is actually quite genius, or it's something that's unthought of, it's something that's very different, it's unique. But at the same time, like, your mask of genius falls off at times, where your distortion of perception is seen by people, like and people think that, oh, look at that mask just slipped, we saw that, and people think that, like, they delude themselves into finding flaws about you and calling you a psychopath, either because there's some relative in your life who has gone out and gossiped about these things to other people, and like made up lies about you and distorted other people's perceptions while they were on drugs. Interesting, right? So your relative could have done that, or your friend could have done that, or this is the truth, and people know about it. All right, people know about your facade, people know that you're a psychopath, but you appear to be intellectual to fool people, and people know about that. Okay, so take it how it relates, my loves. Wow, what a banging reading. I'm terrified and blown away by this reading at the same time. So let's see, pile 3. So you could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could have it in your chart. We have 10 of Wands, we have Devil in reverse, we have Temperance, and we have 5 of Wands in reverse. At the bottom of the deck we have 7 of Cups. Yeah, look at that delusion, right, that we were talking about. So pile 3, I feel like people think that there's a lot of things, a lot of burdens on you, that you tend to then, it's like you get burdened when you're in love, or you get burdened when people are expecting too much out of you. Okay, but it's like you show people that you are taking on the burden, like you can do it all, like you are a genius at taking on the burdens. You show people that, but internally it's like you are obsessed with showing people that, and internally you are obsessed with that person who is giving you the burden. So wow. And that you tend to manipulate that person to not have any conflict with them, so that you can control their life. Okay, that is what people are gossiping about. Some of these people are also gossiping about the kind of options that you have, but how these options do not really fulfill you, because you are independent on your own, and at times you can leave a trail of tears behind in order to celebrate, in order to party. You party when you see other people sad, or you party when you see other people kind of breaking down or having a nervous breakdown, or when you see someone else being burdened by your energy, you celebrate, you feel happy about it. People call you a psychopath. Okay, and for some of you who are not literally, like, you are an empath, and you are like extremely sensitive, and you are healing yourself with the Temperance card, like you are balancing your heart, your mind, your soul, you are letting go of addictions, and that's why you are kind of cutting off from people. Yeah, people are completely going cuckoo, and they are losing their minds because they don't have your energy to feed on. Okay, so you were dealing with a lot of energy vampires, manipulators, and psychopaths themselves, with a lot of distorted perception and narcotic addiction. All right, and these people are losing it because they don't have your energy, because your energy was very pure, it was very intellectual, they were learning a thing or two from you. But now that you are not there in their life, their intellectual source has been stripped away from them. So now they can't appear smart, or they can't delude people that they know you, or something like that, like they were cloud chasing with your name. Okay, wow, pile 3. So some of you could be Sagittarius very strongly, you could be Capricorn, you could also be Leo, Scorpio. Okay, you could be Virgo as well. All right, this is what I have for you, my loves. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, you got a lot out of it. If you want longer readings, let me know in the comments down below. Also, you can book a private reading with me. The details are given in the description box, along with the pinned comment as well. All right, my loves, so thank you so much, pile 3, and peace.